Donald Trump is not only leading the GOP for the presidential nomination, he's also leading the racist discourse in media these days. He recently asked for a national registry of Muslims. He asked for Muslims to actually wear something that IDs them and to close down the mosques. Margaret, we see that the GOP finally is taking a stance and saying this is not what we stand for. We're going to separate ourselves from Donald Trump. Before they were afraid that if they were attacking Donald Trump, they will lose that base that he has so strongly amassed. But now we have Jeb Bush, we have Ted Cruz, and we have Kasich coming forward and saying this guy is crazy. And I want to give a shout out to Kasich because he was the first one, the only lone Republican that in the first debate he came forward, the second debate he came forward and said, guys, are you guys really listening to Donald Trump? Are we serious about this guy being the front runner? He has no idea of the issues. He's pushing bullshit. And we're not talking policy. And now we have Jeb Bush coming forward. He said, you're talking about internment. You're talking about closing mosques. You're talking about registering people, and that's just wrong. He said, this is Nazi behavior. We have Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. Can you imagine Ted Cruz going and saying, I fight for religious freedom, and that's why I don't support this. I am a big supporter. I'm not a big supporter of national registries of the government in no way, shape, or form. So this guy, he's alone on that.
Well, the NSA list, as we should say, is about to expire. You know, the list, not Muslim list, but just list
the registry.
The registry, exactly. But what Donald Trump is suggesting is very reminiscent of, let's say, 1938, 1939. I mean, we're talking about putting people on lists because of religious affiliation.
He's a crazy guy.
I mean,
check this. This is the latest quote that he gave. We're going to have to do things that we never did before, and some people are going to be upset about it, but I think that now everybody's feeling that security is going to rule. Certain things will be done that we never thought would happen in this country in terms of information and learning about the enemy. So we're going to have to do certain things that were unthinkable just a year ago. Sounds familiar? It sounds familiar to me.
Eerily familiar.
Very, very familiar. So finally, we see that the GOP has to chop off the head of the pack. They need to distance themselves. Otherwise, the whole party is going to be associated with this new American fascism, this racist behavior that is going to start. Not only he wants to deport 11 million people in buses and just, he referred to Operation Wetback, not by name though, but he referred to that operation as the very, very successful model for his immigration policy. Now, he's going to put the Muslims on a registry. He might as well put them a star on their pocket so we can see who they are. It's really, we're talking about that's the direction that Donald Trump wants to take this country. And it's very dangerous, and I think we need to denounce it. Finally, we'll see if the next debate, these guys can actually take a jab at him. But at the same time, it's all political timing. It's all political timing because they know that they have an opening to attack Donald Trump and see if they can bring him down from the polls. What do you think?
I think that this comes at a time where our president is saying, look, we're going to accept X amount of Syrian refugees. It comes on, at a time where there's a heightened fear, because of extremists. And we've been seeing this. You and I have talked about it at length, these sparse instances of violence towards Muslims, anyone appearing to be Muslim, and mosques. So, he's coming at that time where people have this sentiment and this fear, and he's playing into that fear.
Yeah, he's benefiting and he's profiting from that fear. And we know that if Donald Trump gets elected president, he's ready to close down mosques. He's ready to create a registry of Muslims so he knows where they are at all times. And he's ready to make this country racist again.